cacti and succulent growers, welcome to my end of year winter grow room update. And this is one of my grow rooms. I have a few around the house, but this one is my main one, and it's also my office as well, so I get to work in here with these gorgeous plants all around me. And the other day I did a video on the cactus and succulent collection in my polytunnel, which is out there. And if you didn't see that video of a complete tour of my cactus and succulent polytunnel collection, then do go ahead and watch that. I'll link that video up above. So make sure you watch that at the end of this video. And this is going to be just my grow room. I have quite a lot of other cacti and succulents around the house, including these 4 very large cactus plants. So first of all, I'm going to start off with my epiphytic plant stand here. And this is where I have a lot of my epiphytic cactus plants that are not as cold hardy as my other epiphytes that I have out in the polytunnel, such as some of my epiphyllums and some of the ripsalis that are more cold hardier. So as I say, this is where I overwinter a lot of cacti succulents that are not as cold hardy, and the majority of these will be going back into the polytunnel for the spring, which I can't wait for, guys. So first of all, this is my ripsalis crispata. And this is one that prefers more winter warmth. Otherwise, it tends to have a habit of sort of dropping leaves and leaves going a little bit black and spotty. But this does really well. This is what I actually keep here all through the year. I don't move it into the polytunnel. It grows amazing. And it sort of prefers to have a bit more shade away from direct sun as well. Growing remarkable. That's in a lovely hanging basket there. And then here I have my Epiphyllum delicate jewels. And this is one of the few epiphyllums I prefer to keep indoors also, because I find it's a little bit more sensitive to the cold than my other epiphyllums are. And happy to say it is growing a seed pod. Had a lovely flower in the summer and it's producing seeds, which is exciting. And here is my Epiphyllum guatemalense. And this one is also one in my experience that prefers a little bit more winter warmth as for an epiphyllum. Otherwise the leaves can get a little bit damaged. So this seems to be doing very well there in this position. And here is a ripsalis. This is Ripsalis alboreolata, produces gorgeous little orange blooms from sometimes from late winter and then also into the spring as well. This one is one I take out into my yard in the springtime once a chance of frost has passed, and I overwinter it here in the office on this plant stand. And these are a mixture of epiphyllum seedlings, all have grown from seed. They're all in this hanging basket. And here then I've got another epiphyllum, and this one is Epiphyllum carrigorense. And this is one that I usually do have out in the polytunnel, but I've just decided to keep this in here this year because I like to have quite a nice selection hanging on the plant stand. And then here is a ripsalis. This one is Ripsalis ramelosa. And that one, not looking too good, a little bit scabby, got a bit of sunburn in the summer, but that's also growing very well. One that, again, in my experience, is not that cold hardy. And I prefer to keep this ripsalis indoors. Here I have some more, lots of epiphyllum seedlings, all have grown from seed. Some more up there. And this is a Selenicerius. And this one is Selenicerius werklii, a lovely hanging plant. And this one is also one I take out into the yard once a chance of frost has passed in the spring. Here is a Selenicerius grandiflorus. And it's gorgeous the way it's sort of hanging down here. Produces amazing white flowers. One of the Queen of the Night cacti. One flower and then it's gone. So it sort of loves that spot. This is the only one I have of the Grandiflora Selenicerius that I have in a hanging basket. I've got other ones here on the table, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And this one is my very old Ripsalis paradoxa. And this particular Ripsalis I just absolutely love because I love the crinkly, lovely little crinkly hanging stems on this. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, and one I've had for quite a long time. This, by the way, is past sun damage. Again, this is one that I know prefers a lot more shade. I used to take it out in the summer months out in the yard, and it just doesn't like to have too much bright light. It forms this scabbiness. Harmless, but it looks not aesthetically the best. So I've sort of keep this here all the time now in this office. The sun comes through in the winter from the window there onto this, but it's more sort of indirect sun, and it does very well over the summer, just left in here too. Lovely pendant hanging cactus, as you can see. And then here on the floor I have some Hylocereus dragon fruit cacti, and these are just overwintering here at the moment because I take them also out into the polytunnel for the spring and summer months. But they're sort of growing quite large, as you can see. Lovely cactus. Again, sort of epiphytic, but not as epiphytic as the normal types of epiphytic cacti, such as Epiphyllum or Ripsalis. And that's they've got tied up going up there because to support it. So that's my hanging plant stand, which I sort of love having here in my office. And then here is my Slumbergera buckley, the true Christmas cactus. And normally I have this out in the polytunnel, but when we had to move all the plants out when we got the new polytunnel, I decided to keep it in. It seems to be doing really well here. Recently been flowering, still flowering, as you can see. And I've got a lot more of my Slumbergera cacti in my kitchen as well. And a lot of them are still flowering. They've been flowering on and off very, very well. So I'll include them when I do an update on the houseplant tour, as I mentioned, probably sometime in the new year. Here is I've got a lot of sort of tall cactus plants, cereus cactus plants, a mixture of everything here. I have a lot more in a grow room downstairs as well, which I'll include in a future video. But here's a mixture of everything. I've also got tall euphorbias as well here, and they just sort of just resting now. There's not much they're going to be doing until next spring, and these are all going to be coming out into the new polytunnel when the weather starts to warm up again. And then here I have an Epiphyllum anguliga, the lovely commonly known as the zigzag cactus. And I've got my hoyas up here as well, Hoya carnosa. And this one is a lovely Hoya, Crimson Princess, which I recently got from my wonderful friend Danny Rose. And that I have at the top here on this grow light. It sort of hangs down lovely, absolutely beautiful variegation on it. And then here hanging is another lovely little Hoya with lovely little leaves. This is Hoya croneriana, very beautiful, also from Danny, and that's doing very well. And another Hoya carnosa there. And then here, this is my Cubentia centenary, and that's one I also take out for the spring and summer to go into the polytunnel, but it's not a cold hardy one. So this one is one that does need a minimum winter temperature of about 8°C, which is why I've got it here in my grow room. And then here I've got some of my euphorbias, a mixture of a few different types. Here the trigona, and also this lovely one here, the flacosa, lovely sort of fruticosa, Euphorbia fruticosa, and Euphorbia medusa. This is Euphorbia Suzanne, and it is an absolutely lovely one of the medusioids. And here is another Selenicereus valida. And the reason why it's growing like that is because it is naturally meant to be a hanging plant, as you can see with the other Selenicereus. So I've just got it resting, going over the other plants here. And this is another Ripsalis, and this one is Ripsalis pachypatera. And it also a lovely one I got from Danny, my friend Danny as well. So it's growing absolutely beautiful. These are all sorts of new leaves that, or modified leaves, I should say, that have been growing on this. Absolutely beautiful. Another Medusa here, Euphorbia Medusa, Euphorbia flanagani. And this is what I do still give a little bit of water to. I never used to, but I do give a wee bit of water now about once a month because it stops a lot of these the stems here from dropping off. And I learnt that tip from my wonderful friend Clyde, Morris Park in the Ozarks. So Clyde's an expert on euphorbias, and it seems to do well with a bit of water. And if I can get into this window, guys, I can't really reach, so hopefully you'll be able to see here. I've got a mixture of a few different things here. I've got the Espostoa there, and some two little cuties of Parodia warsii, and a mixture of everything in the window here as well. Hope you can see, guys, because it's an extremely dark day today, and it may not be picking it up. I can't really reach into the window, but a mixture of a few different types. Turbinicarpus swobidae on the left there, and another little Parodia and a Matucana. And then here I have my very big, or Hans's very big, Parodia Leninhausi. And I'm often being asked, why don't I have that in the polytunnel? Well, probably will next year, but it's one that's very sort of needs support because it is very tall and leaning and has to be supported on something. So that's why we have that leaning on the window. Plus I like to have a bit of a variety here in the grow room. Here in the window, a mixture of some euphorbia, my Ulbomania pectinifera, which I'll try and show so you can see that's that one there. And this is my Sawaru as well, which is about 10 years old now. That was grown from seed from my wonderful friend Keith in Arizona. And a mixture of a few different types. My Strombocactus disciformis, which is there. My Epilelantha micromeris, or one of them, which is there. And these would be okay in the polytunnel, but because I've noticed mealybug on them during the summer, I've got them in here so I'll keep a better eye on them. Turbinicopus swobidae, which is this little cutie here, which is also gifted to me from my wonderful friend Danny. That's doing really well. Here, Echinoceros pentalopus, which is an awesome cutting that I got from my wonderful friend Ziggy at Ziggy's Cactus channel here on YouTube. Here you've got some Austrocylindropuntia salmianas, some Gymnoclisiums in the window here, a Porophyllum there, and another little Ripsalis there. This one is Ripsalis Olepismium maigoense, that one. And then here is my Cissus quadrangularis, and this is a really wacky plant. It's a succulent that grows segmented, and this is just amazing. Look at that, guys. You have to have it tied up to the window because it grows so long and hanging. And here is Austrocylindria puntias. And this is the Vestitas. One is a cristated one and one is the Vestita. And these were also given to me by Ziggy from Ziggy's Cactus channel. And they'll be absolutely fine to grow out in the polytunnel, but I've got them in here because my first year with a Pterocactus tubiflorus, tuberosus, which is there, also from Ziggy. Another little Pterocactus there. And then take you around. Here I have some euphorbias that were also given to me from my wonderful friend Clyde Morris at Morris Park in the Ozarks. A mixture of different types of euphorbias there, growing remarkable. They're just thriving. So they're absolutely incredible. And it's too much for me to say all the names, guys. So if you see any particular cactus or succulent you want to know the exact ID of, for example, with the euphorbias here, do let me know and I'll let you know. Just let me know what part it appears in the video. But they are doing very, very well as well. And another big euphorbia here. And this one here is my Alaudia. This sort of drops its leaves at this time of year, then starts to regrow them again. It's also starting to regrow some more leaves, which is good to see. An amazing succulent there. And here again, a mixture of more different types of euphorbias. Way too many to mention the names of, so just do let me know if you want to know the names. And here, some Cleistocactus straussii, two of these cuties, also got from Danny this year, so I've got them two there. This is an Opuntia cobra cactus, and it is amazing with its lovely look about it there, with its patterning. But this is one that is not particularly cold hardy, so I prefer to keep it in the grow room and then move it out into the polytunnel for the spring and summer months. And here I have some seedlings of Pelasgia chichipi, and these are all that are grown from seed a few years ago, and they're doing very well there. And then here is some more Puntias, and these ones are from the Galapagos Islands. They're not cold hardy. They're one of the few Puntias that are not cold hardy, and that's why I keep them in the grow room to overwinter, just so they overwinter safe, and then I move them back out into the polytunnel again in the spring and summer. This is a Gymnoclisium holstei, and this is a recent addition as well that I got from my late friend who sadly passed away, Peter. And I decided to overwinter this indoors as well, even though I've got other horses that overwinter fine. They are cold hardy, but I just wanted it in the office. And here is a Puncher microdasis, which I also find can be a little bit temperamental in too cold temperatures. So this is one I've got in here. And this is a lovely Apuntia here, a lovely variety. Not sure the exact type, but these are both also from Danny, so very kind of him. Now here is a lovely Proja crassygibra, and it's one I also got from Danny. So this is doing very well, absolutely gorgeous. And I wanted to keep that here in the grow room and then move it out for the spring, because I'm not sure about how cold hardy this particular Proja is. It's a lot of different hit and miss on the internet. Some say it's cold hardy, some say it's not. So if in doubt, I overwinter indoors. And then here is some Austrocylindra puntia. This one is Flocosa, and this one is minor. Austrocylindra cylindra puntia minor, and this one was Austrocylindra puntia Flocosa, and these were given to me by Ziggy as well, Ziggy's Cactus channel, so amazing. And this one also is from Ziggy, Apuntia fragilis as well. Again, that is extremely cold. These are really cold hardy, but I just wanted to overwinter them here because it's my first year with them. I may put them out into the polytunnel in January because they can certainly take the cold. And Proja Erubescens also, there's two of these also from Ziggy as well. Absolutely gorgeous there. Echinopsis orozopanda, and this is one that lost its roots when Danny sent it to me. It's one that I've had to reroot, so I've got that sitting in grit, hoping to reroot it, and that's why I've kept it here in the grow room. And here's a Puntia yax capan, possibly a Puntia stricta, and this was also given to me by Ziggy. And this is one of my other Apuntias, and this one is a Puntia. Can't remember, Apuntia, the Xanthostema. All these names, guys. And this one is a cold hardy Apuntia, but it had a lot of shriveling issues, and I've actually took it into the grow room and had to give it a good water. So to be on the safe side, I took it in, but that's sort of growing amazing there. And then here, Paradoxa, as you can see, my big one over there. And this was cuttings from Danny also, so very generous. And I've got this hanging here, little hanging basket over the grow light. And I also want to mention as well, I've also got more cuttings as well here that are doing very well. And then here over this side, I have some Epiphyllum seedlings that are growing well there. And then this one here was a recent addition that I got a month or so ago, and just look at them awesome spines, guys. Absolutely amazing sharp spines, and this was an absolute bargain. It was £2.50 from Sainsbury's supermarket here in Northern Ireland, and it is just gorgeous. I'm going to be repotting this in the new year, so stay tuned for a video when I do that. And here another Ipsalis. Difficult to get too close because it's a little bit messy on this table with all the plants and more different euphorbias. Euphorbia tiracali, Selenicerius grandiflorus, which is this cactus here, and we've got 4 different pots of this, and it's sort of just growing wild all over the table. Euphorbia variegata, commonly known as the corn cob. This is Euphorbia, the corn cob there. Euphorbia mamillaris, as it's known. Euphorbia mamillaris, and the variegated one. And then this one here in the window, if I can find it now, is the normal variety of the all green. Just come round so you can see. Yep, there it is. This one here. And it's normally a lot organised in here in the spring or summer because I take a lot of plants out, obviously. This one is a Pachyserius pringlei, and this Echinocereus grusoni there. And here is my Pilocereus azareus, and it's one that I rescued quite a few years ago, and I did a video at the time because it had a hat glued onto it and then horrible fake eyes, and I had to completely cut it back, and this is all the new growth in that time, so it's thriving. Again, not cold hardy, so it has to be overwintered indoors. Here's are some of my epiphyllums. These are just cuttings that I've took because they're sort of cuttings. I've kept them indoors in here for the winter months. Again, this is another Pachycereus marginatus. It's a little small one there. And yeah, my Hoya kerries. I've got 3. This is my very big Hoya kerry there that sort of hangs down and hangs all over the window. It's absolutely amazing plant. And this one is one that I grown from a single leaf, and that's doing very well as well. And I also have a variegated one. You can see it's really difficult to reach in the window, so apologies guys. But anyway, I have a variegated there. Maybe you can see there where my finger is, you can see the leaf. And they seem to do well there. And then on this table here, I have, yep, this is my Euphorbia tyracale. Again, one that's not cold hardy. And that is growing into an amazing little tree, doing very well. And the reason why I have this this mirror here is that when I've got the grow lights on, it reflects more light onto this table here, which is brilliant because it lights up this whole table. It saves me having to have all of the grow lights on. That reflects light back on. And here are my Cereus spiralis. I've got 3 of them, 2 smaller ones, and I've got a larger one there at the back. Again, well, the Cereus spiralis can be sort of cold hardy, but I keep them indoors to be on the safe side. Cactus here, Cactus geometricans, which is this is one I also got from Danny. That's doing well. Now this is my cuddly cactus as well. This is one that's not cold hardy, so I overwinter that in the grow room here. Another Cactus geometricans, and this one is the booby cactus because of the obvious reasons on how it looks, and that's not cold hardy either. So that is indoors here. And then this lovely Euphorbia, and I don't remember the name of this, unfortunately. So Clyde Morris, if you're watching this and you can ID this for me. I think you ID'd it for me last time, but I wrote the label and it's come off. I've just got Euphorbia written down on there. But this is a plant I've had extremely long time, in early 20s. So this is about 28 years old, and it's amazing Euphorbia. I love the way it's sort of got its lovely woody trunk. Again, Euphorbias are not cold hardy, so they have to be overwintered indoors and to protect it from the cold. And here is a Euphorbia sudanica, and it looks pretty ugly, but that's what happens at this time of year. It drops all of its leaves, and then come the spring again, they form a load of new leaves. So that is it's a gorgeous plant when it comes into leaf. And then here on this table, I've got a mixture of propagations. These are all my epiphyllum propagations. They're too young to have out in the polytunnel, so I've got them here in the grow room because I have to keep watering them regularly as well and keep an eye on them. Here I've got 2 more pots of Hylocereus dragon fruits that I've grown from seed. This is one my friend Susan grown from seed a few years ago, and it's grown massive. It is remarkable. So again, not cold hardy, so I've got them there. A couple of the hanging basket. This is Epiphyllum red tip, and this was gifted to me by my wonderful friend Sylvia. And Sylvia very kindly sent me 2 cuttings of her Epiphyllum red tip because it's an epiphyllum we don't have. So because I've been rooting it, obviously I've got this here in the grow room. And then this one is a Epiphyllum anthonianus, and it's similar to the traditional zigzag, but it's one that has pink flowers. Hasn't flowered for me yet, but not a cold hardy one like some of the like the normal zigzag will be. So this is one I keep indoors here. Nearly forgot as well, Mammillaria gracili snow caps, and these are one I had to repropagate because the mother plant had died back. I did do a video at the time quite a few months ago now, and I've managed to save these cuttings, so I'm keeping them in the grow room to keep an eye on them while they sort of send out roots. But hopefully I've been able to save them. And then here is my lovely big Ficus elastica plant that I have in the corner. Not a cactus or a succulent, but still needs to be shown off because it's an amazing plant. So here we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the mad cactus tour. Is any I've left out? Let me think. Yep, there's another Rhipsalis up here, and this one is Rhipsalis platycarpa. Again, a lovely leaf, and it's similar to the Pachyphyta, but the Pachyphyta has more sort of slightly more elongated leaves. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you're new to my channel, then do subscribe, and do also check out the many other, I've got over 2,000 videos on my channel on cacti and succulents. And I want to wish you all a fantastic plant-powered 2024 ahead.